at the time I was 16, 17 years old. Anything that a 16, 17-year-old boy would do, I was pretty much doing it and going beyond. I was diagnosed with an aortic tear in 2013. I went from 2013 to 2016 with the tear still. They decided to do the surgery August 5th of 2015.
He went in to have his surgery done, but when he got out of surgery, they noticed that he couldn't move his legs. So he was paralyzed from T8 down.
To me, what went through my mind, I was like, well, I mean, this is awful. What am I going to do? I have nothing to look forward to now. I mean, I had all these plans, they're all gone.
But when we came home, we didn't have nothing prepared. I mean, we had no idea that this was going to happen to our son.
I told them about our program, Children's Rehab, and that we were in Huntsville. They had never heard of our agency. And I told them the services that we possibly could provide to him.
They got involved, well, Alicia got involved in September, but when we got home, they really got involved.
By the time he arrived home, services, she wanted those to already be in the home. So I went there so that when he arrived home, he would have equipment, supplies, and everything he needed.
Susan Edwards, she helped us out a lot too that's when Jeremy got in vocational rehab. And she came to the school at the tech center because Jeremy wanted to keep on doing his CNC milling.
And so I expected to meet a young man that was probably, pretty low, and instead I met just this dynamic personality from the very start. Jeremy came in and he was right away a partner in his case, wanting to do whatever he needed to do to help him achieve independence.
Really, being independent is probably the best way to be, because if you're self-reliant on it, I mean, you're not really going to succeed in life, because you can't have somebody holding your hand the rest of your life. I mean, you can't sit around and be like, poor me, poor this. You got to be like, you know what, it's happened, I got to get it done, got to get out there and make something of myself.
After he went back to school, we brought in our rehab technologist, and we met him at the tech school, and we made sure that everything was at the right height for Jeremy, that he was able to access the machinery there, that the school environment was accessible to him. And so that was the first thing we did, was collaborate with our rehab technologist.
I've had a great community support me. I came back to school and my teachers helped me any way they could. Students did anything they could to help me, and that's the same way out here at Drake.
He has transitioned from high school. He did graduate on time in May of 2016, and now he's at Drake State Technical College. And he's also there pursuing what his goal was, to be a CNC machinist, and he's still doing that, taking coursework in that, and it seems like he's doing quite well.
This will be my 4th year doing it, and I've earned my credentials in CNC milling and CNC lathe, which is really good, because a lot of the boys that came out of high school with me never got the opportunity to do that, and I enjoyed it. I mean, sitting there and I could take a piece of metal that was a solid tube and turn it into something that nobody else could have thought of is just amazing. I'm still trying to figure out where I want to go in life. I'm definitely going to be doing this.
Once they started telling me, there's things out there that Jeremy can still do. We'll be able to let him, fix his vehicle so he'll be able to drive.
We made a referral to the adaptive driving, and Jeremy already had a license prior to his accident, but he was able to work with adaptive driving to eventually get his truck modified.
Them helping me get to drive, that's great, because I feel like I can go and do things that I used to not be able to, because my mom would have to drive me in. Now I've got me a girlfriend and stuff, and I'm able to go to her house and hang out with her and us go places where if I wasn't driving, I wouldn't be able to do none of that. Being able to go places with my buddies and have my own vehicle and then be able to ride with me instead of me having to rely on them is probably the greatest thing ever, because now they have to rely on me if they want to go somewhere with me.
That was probably one of the happiest days of my life as a rehab counselor, is watching him get to go back and get on the road again and be able to see his friends and be a normal teenager, as he said again, feel like that he had that part of his life back. We also enrolled him in college prep.
They really went over a lot of organization, keeping up with, say, like time management, keeping all my stuff organized, and things that I use now that I really back then was like, oh, I ain't gonna use that. I mean, it's no big deal. When I got here, the organization's my biggest deal. Since
I've been coming out here, I have sat over there at vocational rehab, and I have seen teenagers come in, adults come in. I mean, and it's just, it seems like you get a lot of help and you get a lot of answers. It's a very good organization. I like it.
Well, we've been there every step of the way, and we'll continue to be there every step of the way till he's employed as a CNC machinist, doing what he wants to do in the place he wants to do it in. We have a team of people that are ready to stand beside him, and the sky is the limit for Jeremy, and I can't wait to see what the future holds.
I know there's people out there that's in my situation that really don't know what to do. I remember laying in a hospital, sitting there thinking, what am I gonna do in life? And when I get to vocational rehab, I have Alicia and Susan to tell me that everything's gonna be okay pretty much. And they're gonna help me any way they can, and pretty much that's what they've done. And I'm very impressed with how much people actually care.